Alright, so we're down in the basement, and this is where I keep all my stuff to prepare my brass. That's the very first step. Once you get back from the range, you got to clean your brass before you do anything else with it. You got dirt, mud, sand. I live up in New England, so right now it's snow outside. You got that water all over the brass, as well as carbon buildup and stuff like that. So you really got to get that all off of there, so that way you don't damage your dies when you're resizing the brass. And once you scratch a die, it's going to scratch every other piece of brass that you put through it after that. So very important to get it nice and clean. There's many different ways you can clean your brass. One's a vibratory tumbler, which uses a dry media, either usually corn cob or walnut. You have your ultrasonic cleaner, which is a wet method. You use water and a solution inside the sonic cleaner to clean it. And then you got your stainless steel media tumbler, which is stainless steel pins, water, soap, and some lemon in there, and that cleans your brass. So it all just depends on what you can afford at the time. You got to keep in mind that reloading, you can really invest a lot into it, but you don't have to. You can get by with the bare bones and still produce a round that'll go down range just fine. So you got to kind of evaluate what type of person you are. You want just functionality, or you want something that's pretty to look at. So either way, you can't go wrong with anything. So let me get the vibratory tumbler set up here, and then I'll show you how that's used, and then we'll go on to the sonic cleaner and then the stainless steel media tumbler. Okay, so here we got the Lyman Turbo Pro 1200 tumbler. It's a vibratory tumbler. Uses a media in here that helps clean off your brass. Many different types of media you can use. This is Dillon corncob media with a polishing compound in it. You can use walnut, and there's all kinds of different stuff you can use. So you get home from the range, you just throw your brass in here, throw your media in there, put the top on it. I usually put a rag over it. That way it creates a lot of dust. That way you don't want to breathe that stuff. So if you put a rag over it, it cuts down on that. And a lot of people use a dryer sheet. They'll put a used dryer sheet in there, and that eliminates a lot of the dust. So I'm just going to start this up real quick so you can see how it works. You can see how it just kind of keeps rolling over, and it's the vibrating there with the media up against the brass is going to leave it nice and polished when it's done. So I usually do it for about 2 hours. The more the merrier. I mean, you can't leave it in there for too long. So 2 hours is usually good enough for me, because I'm going to clean it again afterwards a couple steps from now. So I'm just basically trying to get all the dirt off of it. I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of tarnishing on here and dirt and stuff. And then this one's been in there for a couple hours. So the polishing compound, it's going to leave a residue on the brass, and as you're resizing it, you'll notice your fingers are going to get all black. I run it through, after I resize my brass, through the SS media tumbler, and it's going to get all that residue and everything off of there. But these are nice and clean now. They're ready for resizing. And the next one I will show you is the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, we got the Lyman Ultrasonic Cleaner, the TS2500, and this is something I'd switched to and I used for quite a while. I don't really use it much anymore because I like the SS pin media type tumbler the best, but it works very well. This one here will get inside the brass, inside the primer pockets. It'll get everything looking brand new. The vibratory tumbler doesn't do inside the brass. Some people don't really care about that. If you got OCD and you really want everything nice and clean, ultrasonic is a very good way to go. So same thing, you're going to fill it up with water. Instead of using a corncob media, you put water in there, turn on the heater, come back a little while later. The water's nice and hot, and that helps with the cleaning. You add your solution to it, whatever you want to use. This one's made specifically by Lyman. It's made for cleaning brass. They make a solution for cleaning like jewelry and stuff, and even a solution for cleaning gun parts. So you're going to put that in there, put all your brass in there, put your top on it, set your timer. It'll go up to 480 seconds, and then I'll just turn this on so you can kind of see. It's not very loud. I just want to see how loud it is though. And that's basically all the noise that it makes. You'll come back, the water will be all nice and sudsy and everything. You pull your basket out, rinse it off with clean water, and the brass will look brand spanking new. It's a very good way to clean brass. Like I said, I don't use it. I use the stainless steel pin media tumbler. And so let me get that set up, and I'll show you that one next. Okay, and the third way is the stainless steel pin media tumbler type. This is something I've made, and you can buy them if that's what you choose to do. It's a lot cheaper to make one. I made mine out of a used treadmill and PVC. So all this is a canister where I can put all my brass in there, and then the stainless steel pins, and then I use water, Dawn, and Lemon Shine. Again, there's many different recipes, stuff that you can put in there to get your brass clean. What this is just a piece of PVC, and it's got, I'll shine a flashlight in here, and you can see the pieces of rubber. There's two of them in there, one on each side, and what that does is just keeps everything agitated and rolling in there as this is spinning on the tumbler. So I'm going to put some brass in here, and I'll put the cap on it, and then I'll show you how it works on the treadmill that I designed to turn this. Okay, here we have the SS Pin Media Tumbler. SS Pin is stainless steel pins, and all you do is you put all your brass inside a container, you put all your stainless steel pins in there, you put some water in there, your Dawn detergent, and some Lemon Shine. And then you just put it on this, turn it on, it's going to keep rotating. I'd say probably 2 hours is what I usually do, and it'll get that brass all nice and clean. I have some brass in here. There isn't any water or anything else in there. I just want to kind of show you how this works and what it sounds like. It's going to be a little louder than normal because there's no water in there, but you'll get the gist of it. So, treadmill, that's what I ended up getting, and I just cut it way down, shortened it up so I could fit it on the bench. Pretty much everybody has a treadmill, and half the people never even use them, so you can usually pick them up pretty cheap. I got this one for free, and just modified it for this purpose. So let me turn this on so you can kind of see what it sounds like. That's probably a perfect speed that I use. I mean, you can get it going really fast, but there is really no reason to go faster. It's not going to get it done any quicker, in my opinion. So I got like just money and PVC into this. You can buy the tumblers that do the same thing. They're pretty pricey. That's why a lot of people take a treadmill and modify it for this application. So that's it, a stainless steel pin media tumbler, and let's go on to the next step. Okay, after you get done either the vibratory method or the stainless steel pin media method, you got all that brass mixed in with the media that you're using. So the vibratory one, you can just tip that baby upside down into a bucket. I usually use this one, and it'll vibrate all that corn cob media or walnut or whatever you're using out into the bucket, and then you can take your brass out afterwards. This here is really cheap to buy. It's a media separator. Lyman makes it, and everybody makes a different type of one. So just a basket and a bucket type setup. You dump everything into here, close it up, close the lid, spin it around. All the media will drop through the basket here into the bottom, and you're left with nothing but brass left. So again, there is no media in here, but I'll just show you how it works. You basically dump all your brass and all the media in there, and then you close this up, and then you close your top up, and then just spin it around. Just do that a bunch of times, and then you're just going to be left with all your brass in the bucket. Okay, so Pretty important when you're using the SS pin one, because those pins, once they're wet, they stick to everything. So you see all this is the stainless steel pins that you can buy. You can buy them by the pound in bags, different sizes, and then that's just what bombards the brass and gets it nice and clean. So this here, I mean, it's very inexpensive, and it just makes it a whole lot easier to separate your brass from your media. So next step for me would be to dry my brass if I use the SS pin media type, and I'll show you the dehydrator that I use. Okay, drying your brass after you use a wet media type, the Ultrasonic Cleaner or the SS pin media tumbler. Got to get it all nice and dry before you obviously resize it. Many different ways to do this as well. Some people use a little toaster oven. Some people use a regular oven. I found that the dehydrator works very well, cheap, easy, and again, you ain't got your wife or your girlfriend nagging at you because you're using the oven with brass. So these come in many different layers. I mean, this one's came with 4 different layers. You can add on to it, so you can do huge volumes of brass very quickly. So basically all your stuff's, I put it on a towel first and rotate the towel back and forth, and it gets the majority of the water off, and then what you're left with is water inside the case, primer pockets, and some on the outside. So then you put it in the dehydrator, put your top on. I'll plug this in just so you can hear how loud it is. And that's it. All you're hearing is the fan blowing the hot air up through the bottom out to the top. So very quick, I mean probably 15 to 20 minutes, and your brass is completely dry. It's almost too warm to hold on to it. That's how hot it gets. So cheap, affordable, out of the way. You can keep it down here. Keeps everything clean. You're not bringing all your brass up into the kitchen and getting stuff all dirty up in there. So I usually take this and the box that it came into, and I dump all my brass into the box, and then I use the box to dump it into a container. So I'll just show you that real quick. So this is the box that it came in. I just duct taped the little ears down inside so the brass didn't get stuck in there, and I just take my brass right from the thing and dump it into there. I'll do all 4 levels, and then it makes it very easy just to take that and dump it right into your bucket. Like I said, usually this is pretty hot when you first get done with it, so you don't want to burn your hands or anything. So just thought I'd show you that little step, and let's go on to the next step. Okay, so just to review, I showed you the different ways to clean your brass. The vibratory tumbler with the walnut and the corn media, the ultrasonic cleaner with the water and the chemical that you put in there, and the SS pin media tumbler type. So your brass is all cleaned up, it's all dried. My next step is to bring it upstairs and resize all my brass. So that will be the second video, prepping your brass and getting it all sized and trimmed and the primer pocket all cleaned. So if you've enjoyed the video so far, click on the link to the next video and we'll get started with resizing brass.